Okay. Okay. And then... Okay. All right. So, hey, Taxi. How's it going?
Taxi.
Um, we've got more of the same that's going on today. I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday. I was really tired. I still need to figure out what in the world I'm going to do for this. Try more of this red. Let's see here. I think I want to keep going with kind of the purple look for the cliffs. But I want to... Didn't we already do... I think we talked about that last time, Taxi.
What?
He's asking favorite children's book.
Did we talk about that?
I think so.
What?
For gore.
I don't know what my favorite children's book was.
Running out of questions. That's all right. Um, Those are kind of one and the same thing there, Taxi. A senator is a politician. So the answer is, I would rather be neither.
Yeah.
What position sounds the coolest? Neither. Same answer. I enjoy being a teacher. All right, let me try one. Whose work was the biggest influence on this comic? I'll give you 3 guesses there. You know your comics, and especially if you know me, it's pretty easy. But I'm curious if anyone will be able to get it.
I know it.
Of course you know it.
Of course, I know it. I introduced you to him.
Yeah. Well, kind of. I was...
Actually, I think you were along that. You would have just found it. I don't know if I so much as introduced it to you as...
You reminded me of his...
Yeah, like...
Really. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this makes sense. It's like, that's right. Especially considering, like, I, at the time, was getting into comics. And so, it like, when you showed it to me, I was like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. I'll give the hint that he was influential in the sci-fi realm of comics. That's a pretty good hint. It's actually kind of funny because I got asked kind of a similar question for an interview a while back, and I gave the answer. And then I was asked, oh, so what's like the biggest project like that this creator did, that like your favorite project by them or whatever? And I sat there and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't ever read any of his work, actually. I just really like his art.
Yeah.
And so I basically was like, oh, I have to admit, I've actually not read his work. Because influence for me isn't about, like, strictly, like, enjoying someone else's work, per se. Like, it is. But for me, it's whatever, like, gets my brain, like, clicking. Yeah. And, you know, that can be, like, whether I've read the work or not. Like, if I look at the artwork and all of a sudden things are clicking in my head, then I like it. It's influenced me. So the answer I gave was actually, I guess I can't. I kind of can say this. I guess this will be my second hint. But he worked on Jodorowsky's Dune. The reason I'm willing to give that out there is because a lot of people worked on Jodorowsky's Dune. But basically, the way I kind of broke it down was I like looking at that film for influence because it never really existed. So it has this very like ethereal feel to it and went on to influence so many things without ever existing. That idea is just really interesting to me.
Let's see.
What program is this? This is Clip Studio Paint.
Yes, sir.
One of the best programs ever made. Eat your heart out, Photoshop.
Your heart out of Adobe. In general. Photoshop can't animate. Or can you? Can you do?
Can you do what?
Can you do animation in Photoshop?
Yes, you can, and it's kind of a nightmare. Maybe it's gotten better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be a nightmare.
Well, to answer the question there, Iron Age, it's Mobius, Jean Giraud. His work has been a huge influence, and if you go out and Google him, you'll see almost immediately where I really pull from. Why is it better than Photoshop? Because it's actually designed for artists and not a archaic jack of all trades. So the brush engine just feels better. The tools are more in line for comic artists, which makes it really nice.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's designed to do, because it's a Japanese company. It's designed primarily for like manga.
Yeah.
Originally, and it used to be called Manga Studio.
Yep.
But as the audience grew, they were like, well, it's not just for manga, so branding kind of thing. So they made it Clip Studio for, I don't know why Clip.
Clip art? I don't know. Only thing you've seen in this style is Mobius. He's definitely had a wide range of influence, but I do try to not like copy the style, but I think I do take a stronger influence from it than others. Personally, I feel like so often line work and color and stuff like that in comics is almost like too rendered. I like to see the fingerprints in a comic.
Oh, I see what you mean by it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, here's me doing a highly rendered ink work.
Well, yeah, no, I don't have any problem with that. It's just like the way I kind of see it, and it's kind of ironic I'm working in Clip Studio Paint because like it's kind of designed around this principle, but like every but he wanted to get closer and closer to like really shiny, perfect like gradients and stuff like that, right? And then when we could do that, like around the 90s with digital technique and everything like that, I don't know, I really think it lost a lot of its personality, the look of comics. The background music, this is a variety of chiptune. This one right here is Big Giant Circles, song called Houston. The song before was Chip Zell. Chip Zell's one of my favorite chiptune artists. She does everything on Game Boy, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty cool. Also good to see you here as well, Evele. If I'm not mistaken, you do music yourself, right, Evele? I think I heard one of your songs on Drink with Crazy stream the other night. Pretty cool stuff. Do it that way. Yeah, no, Chip Zell's awesome. I want to do it this way. Getting the layers to look right is a little tricky. But I don't think I want these like fragmented bits. I think I want everything to be a continuous line.
This is a mess.
Aggressively supportive, I believe in the term, yeah. Or I believe is the term, yeah. That's what's been kind of cool about the that group. It's just how on board everyone is with just getting people's projects off the ground and whatnot. It's really cool. I definitely want to look into more people's stuff in the future. I've been on the lookout for more like comics and stuff like that. I'm always looking for good comics. I don't have a whole lot because I'm pretty picky, but with all the different projects going on that seem to be taking after a lot of the same influences that I'm interested in, yeah, that's pretty promising. Shoot, that actually reminds me. I need to get on top of wanted to do one of the art prompts actually for Iron Age media. Been distracted and tired. Hard to keep up with all this stuff, isn't it? Yeah, I need to get back into reading myself. I've been out of it for a little while. I was getting back into it for a while and I was really enjoying it, but I always fall out of it, and I don't know why, because I always enjoy it.
Let's get busy.
Yeah. Get busy, get lazy, get tired. Yeah, I imagine doing a magazine. I can't imagine how much work that is. That's got to be. Oh, that actually reminds me. 1 second. I got a suggestion for an open source program when I asked about an alternative to to InDesign. Let me see if I can get that here real quick. Where was that? Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah. Let's see here. There's a little ways up here. Where is it? No, I think it's a little bit further down. Yeah, a program called Scribus. I haven't looked into it, but I'll type it in the chat here. Yeah, Scribus. Might be worth looking into if you haven't already. Yeah, and they even said, I'm not prepared to call it a one-to-one replacement yet. So it probably isn't. Yeah, Scribus, that's it. I don't know. It might do the trick for you, might not. Or it might be one of those things. If it's open source, it's probably still being developed. So it, who knows? Maybe it'll get better. Appears to be lapsed in terms of support. Yeah, InDesign's hard. That's the only program I don't really have a good like alternative to. Like even After Effects, I know of a few alternatives, and actually some new ones are really popping up for like motion graphics, even Cavalry and stuff like that. But InDesign is that one that's like no one's really done anything like that. I'm sure it's on the chopping block next. I'm sure that especially as like independent creators become more like interested in making their own books and stuff like that. Whether they be art books or whatever. Kind of the same thing happened for visual artists where like you had like developments in Blender and stuff like that that really started popping off when people were getting sick and tired of having to pay for Blender, and people saw the opportunity to give artists what they wanted, and we're like, well, shoot, we can make a really good motion graphics or editor or compositing program or something like that. Screw it. So I wouldn't be surprised if here in the next few years that that happens. But for now, yeah, that one's a hard one. Even on that list I have, there's only like a couple programs, whereas like, you know, Photoshop has like 20 different alternatives you can use now. And even Animate has a bunch of alternatives. Which is great. I mean, I made my first film in Flash CS6, and oh boy, never again.
Oh boy, indeed.
Really? So, Evely, you were on a comp? Like, what did that look like? What was that about? Yeah, none were towards magazine functionality. Yeah, that's the really tough part. Yeah, I don't know of anything that handles that. So you're kind of stuck with the old school. But hey, if your magazine does really well, which I hope it does, maybe, you know, that'll really kick it off, and magazines in some form will kind of come back into style. Because they are a really good, like, opportunity to get a lot of different eyes on a lot of different people all at once. I will say that Clip Studio Paint has some kind of like zine function, but I don't know what that looks like, and it's a zine, which I think is different.
Fanzine.
Yeah, like a fanzine thing. So I don't know if that would really do you, be what you need it to be and all that, but there is that. Yeah, it's worth taking a look, just seeing. I mean, it can do comics and stuff like that, so maybe there's some crossover there. Cautiously optimistic. Yeah, that's the way to be, honestly. Boy, maybe. Oh yeah, chiptunes equal win. I think I've heard of that. I think one of my other favorite chiptune artists, Rimcraft, he went through. He did something with chiptunes equals win on 2 different releases. Okay, that's cool though. So do you do a lot of chiptune stuff then? Yeah, this isn't right. I'll just do that for now. You know, I'm gonna move on from this and just let it sit for a bit and do these.
I'll come back to this. The actual stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I love Rimcraft. Track 11, your track 19. I may have to go out and find that. Rimcraft is a Swedish chiptune artist. I'll actually play some of his stuff here. It should be fine to play. And he makes very good music. I've been listening to him for quite a while, actually, now. Let's go play some Rimcraft. Where is it? Yeah, Space Force. This is one of my favorite EPs. Did nothing but chiptune metal/rock for 3 albums. Nice. Sorry if you're nicking that wrong, but I regularly and roughly got bumps later. Yeah, no, there's some like, I mean, there's like 30 years of experience, you know, coming down the pipeline as far as chiptune goes, which is crazy to think. It's crazy to think how far back that goes with like keygen and whatnot. And I just love how underground it is, you know, but still, ultimately still kind of thriving. I don't know if it's as like, I feel like 2010 was when like chiptune really came into its own. Just the techniques that were coming out of it, the sheer talent and like all the people and stuff like that, and just like all the events and everything like that. DreamHack and whatnot, especially over in like Europe. funny enough. Anamanaguchi, yeah. It's kind of funny. I got into I watched someone called Look Mum No Computer quite a bit, and he's not necessarily a chiptune artist, but he's totally like do it yourself. And he showcased using a Game Boy as a MIDI controller. And I was like, yo, I have an old DMG-01 like lying around. Why don't I bust that thing out and see what I can do with it? And I actually got my hands on a copy of LSDJ. Been messing around with that. Haven't gotten it to work as a controller yet. I've been kind of working on the on and off. I've been having a heck of a time getting the MIDI interface working because I'm trying to build it myself, and I'm working with my dad, who's actually into like electrical engineering and stuff like that, and he's showing me how to do it and whatnot. He kind of built the first prototype, and we're troubleshooting it slowly. I actually need to get a table so I can take a look at it under the oscilloscope here.
I forgot you have an oscilloscope.
Yeah, I'm borrowing an oscilloscope to hopefully use it a little bit here. Actually, the other thing I need to do is replace some caps in my organ.
Yeah.
But I do have that thing back together, and it's working. It's working pretty dang good now, which is nice. Makes me happy. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that, but we will do something later. Actually, you know what? That's all right. Okay. This page is not done though, because we still need to do this big guy. I'll have to go out and see if there's anything really new on the chiptune scene. I haven't come across anything particularly new. I imagine it's out there. Like new artists and stuff like that. A lot of them are kind of old school, you know, Saber Pulse, Chipzel, Dudit Patrulan, Runecraft. They're all, you know, some of the latest a lot of them are at is like 2010, you know. But I'm sure there's something out there. Yeah, just seems like it's really slowed down. It's a bit of a shame, because chiptune, I don't know, it deserves a lot of attention in my opinion, just for the sheer creativity of it. Let's see here.
Let's just real quick see.
Also very tedious. Yeah, you're not wrong. Tracking, stuff like that, it does take a while. See, that doesn't work. I wonder if... How does that look? I don't care for that either, though. Guess I'll just need to be very specific with it. So many clicks, yeah. Does give it more of a handcrafted feel, though. That's kind of a neat thing. I remember watching a there's a TED Talk of all things, funny enough, of I think it's Dan Danimal or something like that. I don't listen to him a whole lot, but he talked about how, you know, he's a guitarist, but he does a lot with like chiptune and whatnot. And so he wanted to do a guitar solo in LSDJ. And he was like, you know, on a normal setup, like with just a guitar and stuff like that, I can just play it, right? You just play it, you record it, you're done, right? But with this, I have to really think about how I want to recreate these elements. And so it forces me to kind of approach it in a completely different way. And so the way he put it is like, it made me a better guitarist, you know, punching little codes down on a track or on a Game Boy made me a better guitarist in the end, which I thought was really cool and kind of funny. And that's kind of why I like encourage people, any like kind of art form that they do, to explore other art forms. Because it forces you to look at a problem a different way, and there's a lot you can carry back to your kind of original artistic venture. That was hard to mess up compared to playing myself. Yeah, very meticulous. I was really impressed when I first started working with LSDJ. I was really impressed by, like, it is a little bit cryptic in terms of like what does what, you know, and everything. But once you know the layout, it's actually really intuitive, surprisingly so. So I was really impressed with that. Yeah, no, for sure. You definitely want those like little quirks in there that live playing gives you. That's why I like, my goal is to kind of be a bit more analog with my setup. That's why I have like, you know, an electric organ from 1986 hooked up to a soundboard from the 90s or whatever. Because it's more tactile, it's more hands-on. And then you don't have to worry about like stupid driver issues and crashes and stuff like that. You have other things you have to worry about, like the board, you know, freaking out because one particle of rust got into the wrong spot. So now you got to open it up and clean it. But I don't know. That's more intuitive than the computer deciding it doesn't like you one morning. All right, Iron Age. I'll catch you later.
I still use a DAW.
I mean, I use a DAW as well, but I don't have like 15 pieces of hardware going into the DAW, right?
I don't either right now.
Yeah.
Nor
Well,
will I really ever. You get more than I do, I think.
I do a lot more with keyboards and synths and stuff like that, and it starts getting into that mode real quick. I do, yeah. Kind of. I don't do it a whole lot. It's mostly like a because I spend all my time drawing pictures, right, and being creative and making stories and all that kind of stuff. And so when I sit down to do music, I very rarely record, which is actually a habit I want to get out of. I want to start recording more. But kind of the reason is because it's kind of just something I can do nonchalantly. That's the other reason I wanted to go analog, is because with like a couple little switch flicks, I'm ready to go. My setup is like ready to go. I have the organ hooked up. I have my synthesizer hooked up. I have the organ going through the effects. It's all just wires and no like digital processing. And so there's no delay or anything like that. Super straightforward. So I can just jam. Play some Rush E. Nope. At some point, I do want to do live stuff. Technically, I could do it right now. Kinda. But I think I'll probably hold off for a little while. Because I don't know. I would just jam. If you do want to hear some stuff I've done, I did a video. 1 second, I can go grab it here real quick. Oops. Where is it? I did a video. Well, that's the thing. I haven't done a whole lot of recorded music and stuff like that. But this is a video of all the time lapses for Inktober of last year, because I did every day. And I did the music. I improvised the music. It's rough around the edges, but I kind of decided to keep it that way because, one, I didn't want to have to go through and edit all of it to sound pristine. And two, it kind of fit the spirit of Inktober, being a little bit more improvised and, keeping the mistakes and kind of just putting it out there, Plus, I had to do like 21 minutes of music, and I didn't want to spend too much time on it. So that's a good example of my work and what I'm kind of heading into. It's mostly just the organ and a little bit of my synthesizer. So not the full scope or capability of my setup, but currently what I'm most comfortable with. Oh, that's the EP. And that's Runecraft. Let's see. Crazy to think that that was 7 years ago. We can do this album. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, come on. Yeah, day 30, the gear. That was kind of funny. I just kind of did that real quick. I wasn't super happy with how it turned out, but I'm glad that you liked it. Inverting inking is really fun, doing white on black. I did that a few times for a few pieces. Like a misty chalk look. Yeah, I used a noise brush. That's all done on Procreate, and the noise brush was actually it's a little bit edited to give it a little bit more control, but it gives it a really nice gradient effect. Just a nice texture to it that feels a bit more natural than like an airbrush or something like that. This is kind of an old school like poster airbrush look. Actually, if you've ever seen posters for like The Day the Earth Stood Still or those 50s and 60s sci-fi pieces. Which is actually a technique I want to capitalize on more, funny enough. Because I really like that look. Yeah, we'll see if I do this year's Inktober. That one kind of drained me, and I might be busy. But I'll probably try to do something for it. Because it is a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do it like a weekly thing or something. You always want to do it, then don't. Yeah, it takes a little bit of a commitment, but the trick is to like some of those drawings, like the snack one, was super quick. Like I think it took me like 5 minutes to do or something like that, and you know that's good enough for a day. Just so long as you get something down, you know. So if you're tired one day, do something real quick. I actually wanted to do a blog post on that, funny enough. I wanted to talk about, like, sticking to something and you know, ways that I kind of helped myself to see it through. I had the benefit of having a lot of downtime, but even when I didn't, you know, like I said, you can just take a quick minute to do something and call it a day. This is my first like proper comic, yeah. I've done other sort of comic stuff before, and I've done animation, so I'm somewhat familiar with, you know, visual mediums and stuff like that. But like, as far as proper comics go, this is the first one I've done. Yeah, I actually come from animation. I would say I've done 3 short films over the span of, oh goodness, it's been a number of years now, almost 10 years, I guess, and like 8 years. And I'm actually getting the inclination to do another short film here, but technically, if you count my microfilm as a short film, I've done 4, but that was more an experiment. Doesn't really have a narrative. That's on my channel, called Otherworld. But it was a animation project, and definitely I used a lot of my skills in visual storytelling to really make that one. So that was a fun project. I want to do something like that again. Oh, it's all good, Taxi. Boy, I haven't... I remember when Smite came out.
Oh my gosh, Smite.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I'm amazed that game is still around.
Yeah, whenever I think about that game, I think of like Rooster Teeth or Let's Play Achievement Hunter, because I was watching them a bunch when that came around.
Yeah. Yeah, it just came out at a bad time. Yeah. Are links floating around? Sorry to talk your head off. Oh, you're all good there, Adelaide. I love chatting.
It does make streaming easier.
Yeah, no, like it's seriously like that's the reason we chat. If we didn't want people chatting, if we wanted to focus, then you know what are we doing streaming?
Yeah.
No, actually the reason I came over to YouTube and started streaming is because like Twitch was like friggin' dead. I wasn't getting hardly any kind of conversations going with people, like every now and again. But coming over to YouTube, it's been a little bit more active, which has been nice. It's like, oh yeah, streaming is fun because you get to talk to people. All of my stuff's on my channel as far as like my animations go, except for my first short film, which isn't anything special. But I can shoot you a link if you want to see it anyway.
I think I only have one of my animations on my channel, and I'm not an animator. I think it's the Temple of Hands
Oh yeah.
one.
Do I plan on making another tier list at some point? We just need to figure out a good way to like get me the links and stuff like that. I wonder if there's a way I can like give permission to post links. YouTube doesn't have a lot of managing my right now. Doesn't have a lot of tools, unfortunately. There's like settings. Oh. Okay, so I can have approved users. Cool. Okay. So default. So yeah, I'll have to go through and change that. Favorite negative number?
Zero.
0.
Negative 0.
Negative 0, which is actually technically a thing. I'm pretty sure. Numbers are weird. Oh, I need to... I feel like there is a negative number that can do some pretty cool stuff, but I don't remember what. I mean, there's the square root of -1, but that just gives you imaginary numbers. Do I know about 3x plus 1? I mean, no. Just sent the link. Well, links are going to come through, unfortunately. Because links are restricted. It's called The Simple Math Problem No One Can Solve. Yeah, I think I remember doing something like that in college algebra. And it was very interesting what it kind of got into. Basically, I got into a loop that no one knows how it functions. They can't figure it out. Yeah, I think I've seen that video pop up. I might have to check it out. Who did that video? Was that Numberphile? What is that? Thanks, Evelyn. Oh yeah, they do take quite a while. Although the microfilm I did, I was thinking about it. I think that only took. That's not gonna work. I think that only ended up taking. I might need a different sound for this. Around like 3 months to do. Funny enough. I started it in, I think, October. I'd been conceptualizing it before, but actual production. I started it in October, and then I finished it in January. So 3 or 4 months complete. My favorite prompt for the Inktober. That's a good question. Oh, that's nothing in animation terms. 3 months is nothing in animation terms. The Blind King took a year to make front to back. It took about 4 months just for the production alone. And then comp. No, that was including comp. No. I can't remember if comp was an extra month after that. I think it was. So that was 5 months overall. And then sound design took like another 3 months on and off. So yeah, stuff, it takes a long time. That's why I'm making comics right now. Because comics also do take a long time, but nowhere near as long as animation. I think that's why a lot of people elect to do comics versus animation. But as far as my favorite prompt of Inktober, boy, that's a good question. I'll have to. I really liked Ego, the guy standing on the checkered floor. I really like how that one came out. That one was really fun. And let's see. Let's do, yeah, this will do. Let's see, what else was really fun? I can't remember the prompt. It's like something like broken, but it's the girl with her face all shattered. That one was really cool. I play with that motif a lot. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I make sad art.
It's like, okay, sweetie, don't worry, we'll get some super glue right up.
Yeah, pretty much. But that one was really, I spent a long time on that one. Because I really enjoyed the technique, and it's a slower technique. How do I feel about the AI that can make things 60 FPS? I think it's garbage. I think it completely destroys the intention of the animator, because what people don't realize, like, here's the thing that people really don't realize as far as animation: the art form isn't the look. The art form is the movement. The art form isn't just the aesthetic of, like, oh wow, the like flashy, right? It's the actual movement, right? And so when you tell a computer to basically do the equivalent of, like, put these frames into a blender and spit it out at a rate that it was never intended to be, you completely demolish that artistry. It's kind of like it's what's a good analogy? I mean, the blender thing is a good, like, way to think about it, but, like, I don't know. It's like,
imagine trying to fight, but you're only allowed to move at the same rate of speed the entire time.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It smooths out all of the inertia and the quick movement, anything like that. It totally ruins any finesse in animation.
Yeah. Because that's all intentional. All of that movement, that's the artistry. That's what the animator does, right? They don't just sit there and, like,
accidentally make stuff.
Yeah, it's very intentional. And so when you completely neglect that, then you're basically, like, erasing it. And there's a really good video by a guy by the name of Noodle who really breaks it down. And I love the way he puts it at the end, where he's just like, and you know it's gamers, because gamers are the ones obsessed with 60 frames per second for no good reason. You know? So, like, like all those people are saying, "Oh wow, you know, it looks so much better and whatnot. This is the future of animation." It's like, okay, yeah, like you watched one clip and you were like vaguely impressed with the tech. Watch an entire series of just that nauseating, just like blended frame movement. Yeah, no. You're gonna get bored, is the thing, because there's no contrast. It completely eliminates the contrast of movement. You passed the true artist test. Well, see, that makes 60 frames per second for gaming, sure, right? Because
Well,
that's the
refresh
point.
rate.
Yeah, that's
difference. It's totally different.
yeah, right. But for animation, you don't need that. And in fact, like so kind of interesting. So Shadow of the Colossus got its remake, right? And it's a real like gorgeous overhaul, you know, visually breathtaking, stuff like that, totally next gen, everything like that. And that includes a higher frame rate. As far as the movement goes, like, yeah, it's probably better for gameplay, it's probably better for the experience in terms of like all that jazz, whatever. For the animation of the Colossi, I prefer the lower frame rate because it is a technique in animation to utilize less frames. And this is the other thing that people don't think about, is they don't just do, you know, 3s or 4s, animate on 3s and 4s, just because they feel like it, just because they're lazy, right? Yeah, it does cut down on the work, but there actually is a lot of nuance that comes out of lower frame rates. And one of those is making things feel heavier, making things feel like they have more impact. Basically addressing what it is it's kind of a micro sense of anticipation. And so the thing is moving slower than you expect it to. And so you're anticipating it hitting like every frame, right? But it's just taking longer and longer, like it's heavy, right? And that's how it works. So when you get rid of that, suddenly everything just feels like a model toy.
Yeah. Which is what was wrong with the sequel to what's it called? Pacific Rim.
Yes, exactly. Among other things.
Yeah, a lot of things, but they didn't animate the stuff to have that kind of weight.
It's why I kind of always laugh though at when like, because you know the whole like alternating frame rates picked up in 3D animation when Into the Spider-Verse came out, and it looks great. It looks fantastic, and I found it really funny how people were kind of like justifying it, where it's like the only thing they would ever talk about is them using the technique to make Miles look more awkward in his movement, which is true. But that's not the only reason they did that. Like, you see it used throughout all the time because it's extremely versatile. It's used for a lot of different things. You didn't care for the frame rate changes in Puss in Boots? I liked it. I think they did a really good job with it personally.
I've not seen that one.
It's good. Very fun.
I've heard good things, which makes me happy that there's.
Made a lot of people happy because they're like, finally, yes. Okay, that's done. Now we can do you. Yeah, that's who I'm streaming with. I'm streaming with my brother, Lors Anvil.
Yeah, we sound similar, so
Yeah, well, we'll fix that.
you may not realize that I'm actually talking when I am.
Yeah, I'm not talking to myself, I swear.
I'm not real. I'm in his brain.
There you are. Yeah, I'll link the channel here. There we go.
Oh yeah, come stop by and watch me practice my inking.
Scary movie though. Never seen Shrek or any of it. Went in blank. It was great. Yeah. The first two Shrek movies are fun.
Yeah, they're very good. The rest of them,
Yeah.
yeah, not so good. What was the one where he like goes through time?
As Shrek Forever After. That was the fourth one.
Good grief, man. Just like, okay, well, they finally, they have gone through every trope because they're out of ideas. They gave them triplets for the third one. They gave time travel or alternate universe, whatever, which didn't make sense. That one didn't make sense because Fiona was an ogre. It's like, why is Fiona still an ogre?
Well, she would have still been cursed.
Yeah, but she was an ogre all the time, I think.
I think it was implied that she wasn't, but you just always see her as an ogre. I don't know.
The movie, yeah,
it wasn't communicated very well to be.
It wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, it really wasn't. So. The audio is clear here, so like on my channel. Uh-oh, we might have to do some troubleshooting on your side, Joel.
Oh, what's going on there? So whose audio?
I'm not sure. Evele just says on my channel, the audio is clearer over here. Can you give us some specifics there, Evele? We might be able to fix it. It always helps to have someone on the other side letting us know how things sound. Because it can be hard to, know. I feel like Disney villains have gotten slightly worse over time. Slightly worse. If we compare...
Stop trying to actually have a villain.
Yeah. When we compare Milan to Lightyear. Yeah. No, straight up. Well, they got into this weird mode where it's like they have to like make everything this so melodramatic, That's what I've really noticed over the years with Disney. It's like they make everything melodramatic as if they're trying to like justify themselves and be like, "Oh, we're totally not immature because we do animation," but then they make really immature stories anyway. It's kind of you know what it reminds me of, like the 14-year-old, you know, saying it's not a phase, like it's just, and then they're, you know, pretending to be like mature. You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of that song that Varg Skeletor made, where he has the line, "I may be 7 years old, but I'm at my limit." It's really funny. I'll have to show you. It's really funny. It's totally making fun of, like, being edgy, essentially.
Being edgy.
Audio here is louder and clearer. Oh, so you might just need to push your levels or something.
Yeah, maybe. I think that might be in OBS. Oh, my mic. Well, okay, so if I'm talking while I'm working, I'm actually kind of facing a little bit away from my mic. So, and there's not much I can do about that because of my arrangement, unfortunately. But I can turn you up for them. So there you go, Andrew.
All right. All right. Honestly, like, see, was that the last Disney movie I watched?
What?
Encanto.
You've
And
seen Encanto?
I've seen Encanto, and I was bored out of my mind.
Well, yeah, there's no villain.
Well, there's nothing. It's like, I was just sitting like, what's the problem here? Oh no, you don't have magic powers anymore? Boo hoo! Like, you have
Like the
your
rest of
family's still alive. You have a community who loves you. Like, oh no! Like, I didn't get it. Like, and I figured it would be like, oh, they need to learn, like, that's not important.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't what happened, Chief. Like, like, nothing mattered. Like, it just didn't matter. I was just bored. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I've heard things about turning red, and yeah, I don't even know.
Look, I've never really been all that into Disney, so
Yeah.
it's not really a big deal to me.
It's unfortunately, it's not a big deal to me, but it's just unfortunate that that's, like, still kind of the flagship of animation over in the West. That's coming crumbling down, thankfully. Thanks to stuff like, funny enough, like, Puss in Boots and stuff like that, where it's like DreamWorks just coming out and being like, hey, here's a fun movie, enjoy.
Yay, one that everyone can get behind.
Yeah, it's like, hey, cool. Cool animation, cool villain, fun little story. Yeah. That's all you need.
It is.
It's a lot simpler than you guys try to make it out to be.
I just want to be entertained. I don't want to be reminded of the political problems.
Oh, I remember there's a strong girl and someone saying a song about something. Yeah, that basically sums up Encanto there, Evelay.
That basically sums up every.
Disney movie? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they always have music. They always have songs.
You liked Ron's Gone Wrong. I don't know if I've seen that one or heard about that one. Oops. Wait. Yeah, maybe I've heard it through the Vine. Honestly, it was kind of funny. I was talking with a friend of mine the other night, and we got to talking about like what we're interested in seeing come out, and I was like, yeah, there's pretty much nothing like coming out I'm really interested in, which I'm not really complaining. I don't really care. But out of curiosity, we went out and we started looking, and the only thing that really, really caught my eye was apparently there's a sequel to Ernest and Celestine coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie kind of.
The ending of that movie is kind of funny.
It really kind of made some stuff up.
Yeah. I still like it, but yeah, it's kind of funny.
Oh, I liked it too. I told you to watch it.
Yeah. But we'll see if the sequel's good. Apparently it's already out in France. So.
I think it's a kid's book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a series of books. So they're probably, I imagine, basing the next one on the books. It's like, hey.
Ernest commits murder, and she's like, he didn't do anything wrong. She pulled the whole, what was that trial? She pulled that whole thing where those guys killed that kid, and the lawyer got them off basically because he was like, it's in their animal nature to kill.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Good grief.
And he's like, yeah, it's in their animal nature to kill. And they got off.
Well.
That was basically what she lawyered for him. He's a bear. He'll just eat your candy and break into your store and eat your candy. It's not a crime.
Well, it wasn't even like it was goofier than that because like she started like going into stuff that he did like it wasn't even about, you know, which like the whole argument is that they weren't focusing on the real issue or whatever. They were focusing on the fact that they were working together or whatever, right? But it's like, okay, we're kind of ignoring the elephant in the room still. It's like, so yeah, not a perfect ending to that movie, but whatever. Let's see, Combat Gods. Isn't that... I feel like... I could be wrong, But I feel like that was the one where the guy got caught tracing a Naruto fight.
Oh.
It was a stick fight animation. I remember seeing that controversy in one of the stick fighting communities I'm in. It came up.
Which fight was it?
Kakashi versus Obito. And yeah, basically like there's a video. Yeah, the Taxi's even agrees. Like, yeah, that guy. Was it those videos? He doesn't do that anymore in Release Part 2. Yeah, I think he learned his lesson from it. I hope he did anyway.
Do your own work.
Yeah. Referencing is one thing, but straight up tracing is another.
Yeah, like watching the fight and being like, oh, I like how they animated that kick or whatever.
Yeah.
That's different than straight up tracing. Like if you can recreate that by hand, no matter what, it's going to be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's going to be in your style by your hand. But yeah, don't do that.
Stop. Get some help.
Get some help. Like from a fellow animating friend or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The stick fighting community. Okay, who wants to help me with this project, guys? It's really, really hard.
Animating is hard.
It is. Art is art, and it's a lot of work.
Go figure.
It's a lot of fun work.
But to quote Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own, of course it's hard. It's supposed to be. That's what makes it great. I butchered that, but you get the idea.
Yeah, no, I know.
I don't know how Goku does that spirit bomb stuff. Does every good person in a 100-mile radius feel like their energy is getting drained? Everyone except for Yamcha. He'll just make it smaller.
No, Yamcha, you'll just make it smaller. Oh, come on, guys. I can contribute.
Man, I almost saw Yamcha do something. I caught an episode of Dragon Ball where he was actually like he didn't have a broken leg and he was gonna fight someone.
Yeah, I don't have any music over here. I just saw your comment there, Emily. I don't have any music over here because I get muted all the time, or I get warnings whenever I do that and stuff. So
a good amount of songs, it doesn't actually matter. You just need to know who to listen to and who not to.
Yeah, well, I can't listen to like Elder, or
You can listen to Slift.
I can listen to Slift.
Yeah, Slift, I'm pretty sure is good. I can double check that, but I've listened to Slift, and a little thing will come up, and it'll be like, "Oh, this is copyrighted music," but it's still green, and what that means is that it doesn't actually affect the channel. It's just saying,
Slift,
"Oh,
you guys are so cool.
yeah."
Love your music. Here, okay, I'll go get some Slift. What about alien weaponry?
No idea. You're gonna have to double check that. You can check like who they go by. If it's DistroKid, like that's pretty much guaranteed to be good, I think, because that's like really independent. If it's Orchard, whatever Orchard Entertainment or whatever it's called, chances are it'll get dinged because that's Elder.
You talking about like their
Publisher or whatever it's called.
I almost think they're themselves, or maybe it's Napalm.
Napalm? Yeah, I'm not sure. Orchard is
Napalm
Sony,
would-
so
Or D. I'm pretty sure Napalm would, or because Napalm is like Dragon Force was originally with Napalm.
yeah.
These guys might be indie. I mean, they're New Zealanders who are part Maori, who sing in Maori. So, like, they might. I mean, when I first came across the guys, they were still like teenagers, like high school age teenagers, and now they're all grown up.
Singing, Evele says singing in Maori is tight.
Yeah, no, it's because you mentioned that you did metal music, right? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, pretty sure that they do metal.
I thought I heard her say she did metal music. But yeah, they're Maori metal. Because the guys are, and it was kind of an annoying controversy because people don't really understand things. Because the two guys, they're like either brothers or cousins. And they just look like white boys, but they are Maori, like they're mixed. And one of the music videos was shot on their ancestral land, like that they had access to because they are descended from that tribe.
By the way, Evele's a dude. He just has a girl's name for his band,
Oh,
he
dude.
says.
Sorry. Sorry. Oh, sorry, bro. It's because when Andrew first said your name, I thought he said Emily. So it kind of stuck in my head. Let's see. Oh, Holy Knights, that definitely wouldn't be.
Oh, yeah.
That's not even a band anymore.
Depends on who owns the music.
I don't even know. Like, there's two albums. One of them, like the second album, was made by completely different people than the first album. I don't even know how that's the same band at that point.
I mean, yeah, that's what Yes did.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure. But they slowly transitioned. They like...
Yeah. No, this was like... I don't know the history for this band because it must have been like people hating each other a lot or something. They must have not gotten along because it took them like 20 years to produce an album or something. 10 years. And
What do they think they are? Tool?
no, Tool's the same members.
Yeah,
No,
I
it
guess
was-
they got that going from.
It was like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some. Don't want it to compete with you too much. All right, here's some slip for y'all.
What are you just listening to Umam?
I just pushed play.
Yeah.
Man, when I first discovered these guys, it was like 5 in the morning, or maybe it was 4 in the morning or something. I don't know, but I was rocking out hard to these guys, working on those thumbnails. The power of Swift. I made 123
Oh my gosh,
thumbnails in
that's
3
right.
days.
That was crazy.
And
Did
the
you-
power of not sleeping.
Yeah. Did you burn out from that? You must have.
I think I burned out a little bit and then realized I didn't continue doing the project like that because I was just like, you know what? I want to tell this story better, more completely, so I've been writing it, not making a comics.
Yes, comics take a long time. Yeah, the cool looking S is still there, Taxi. That's going to stay in the margin doodles forever. Yeah, the music box music is really cool. I haven't kept up with Ventigotten and the new Marble Machine, honestly. He got kind of funny with the development of that project. I mean, I get where he was coming from in terms of like wanting it to work and everything, and just the stress of that. But like, I don't know, when he started obsessing over Elon Musk and self-help books, it just, I don't know. I think it kind of lost what really got me into the project in the first place. So I just didn't keep up. Can't play any songs. Good grief, Taxi. Hey, so long as it doesn't touch the bottom line, what does YouTube care? All right, Evelyn, I appreciate you stopping by. Hope to see you back again soon. We stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, pretty consistently, 6 p.m. PST. So anytime you want to stop by, feel free. Really appreciate you keeping us company. We always love people to come in and have good conversations with. So good luck with your music. We really appreciate the well wishes on our projects. We'll catch you another time.
Mm.
Let's do that. We're actually getting close to wrapping up here. We're going to be going for another 15 minutes or so. I'm still doing color on this spread page. I've been really inefficient these last couple days, but I'm kind of okay with that because I'm tired. Do I still remember the troll face? Yeah.
That's what I look like in real life.
Well, we won't know until you hook your camera.
You'll never know. Million sub face review.
15 sub face reveal.
I have more than 15 subs.
50 sub
50
face
sub.
reveal.
Yeah, I don't got 50 subs.
I'm still working towards 100. Let's see. I got used to sharing my face over on Twitch a long time ago. Plus, it gives me an excuse to hook up an old camcorder, and I like the stupidity of that. Let's see. I'm gonna call this page done for now. This one, on the other hand, is also done. This one isn't done because of the trees. How do I want to do this?
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, I don't think I've heard this song.
What song?
Unseen.
Oh yeah, it just came out not too long ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, this is different. Actually, I think I have, because I've listened to these guys while I was cleaning, but I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, Taxi, no, this was a really active stream chat this session. It was really fun. It's always super fun. We had 3 whole people talking in chat. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And they were kind enough to come by and show me some love, too.
Yeah. What is this? This shouldn't get dinged. I don't know. This is kind of cool.
Oh boy. Lions, tigers, and bears. I love this song.
Oops. Wait.
You know something funny?
Hmm.
The other day I watched a guy go through like all the plots of the various, well, all of them, um, Animorphs books.
Oh yeah.
They're crazy. Like they're really kind of heavy and kind of somewhat graphic and stuff.
Jeez.
And the guy reading it was just like, I read some of these as a kid. Why would they have let us read these? And I mean, it's like because it's a lesson that war isn't a good thing, you know.
Yeah, go figure.
But at the same time, I mean, I have to ask them. So, do you feel like they made you a worse person? Because I mean, but obviously not. Obviously, didn't affect you like that. But the reason why it didn't really matter to kids because they were watching Dragon Ball Z at the time. We were watching dudes get the snot. I watched Gohan's neck get broken with a kick, and I'm supposed to be horrified by something I might have read. I didn't read any Animorphs, but I don't think Kevin did. But I think Kevin's friend Christopher was into reading.
Yeah. Something like that.
Ah.
Hardest question. All right. Would you rather have Arnold Schwarzenegger's prime physique, C-Bum's physique, or Giga Chad physique? I don't know who C-Bum is.
Hold on, what was it?
Would you rather have Arnold Schwarzenegger's prime physique, C-Bum's physique, or Giga Chad's physique? Truth be told, none, because all of those require an extensive amount of steroids, I'm going to say.
Not Arnold's physique, not as much.
Not as much. True.
They weren't using steroids as
to
ridiculously as
that
nowadays.
degree, yeah.
Nowadays it's like good grief, yeah.
It's like, well,
But
you're
still,
going to live
yeah.
to 40.
Now, who was the middle one?
C-Bum. I think I've heard of it, but I don't.
E-Bum.
Hey, bro, C-Bum Natty.
I'm not. Boy, I'm not sure.
I feel like I've heard the name.
It does sound familiar.
This is done.
Yeah, all those guys are probably about as natty as the guy I'm illustrating right now. Actually, I don't even know. This guy's not even a character or anything. I'm just practicing. All right, so.
Rock is definitely on stairs. A lot of people who are really built are.
Even though he claims that he's natty, but he's about as natty as Liver King,
Yeah, that guy.
who also claimed to be natty.
Yeah.
in order to get a physique that's like really big and looks like you're flexing your muscles the entire time, yeah, you pretty much need to be on steroids.
Yeah.
With the ones that like have that level of definition too and stuff. 'Cause you can get big, you can get plenty of muscle, get plenty strong without using steroids. You'll just not have that great of definition, most likely, because in order to put on that muscle, you need the fat content as well. Your body needs that. It's just how your body works.
Which I appreciate that look a lot more.
It is a cool look.
I just realized panels are on. Let's see. Favorite medieval weapon based on looks. So disregarding functionality or anything like that, technique or anything like that.
Based on looks.
Boy.
Based on looks.
Pole arms look pretty cool.
Alarms are great for killing a night.
Yep. Warhammers look pretty cool.
Actual, Polish warhammers and those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty sick. I like halbergs. Yeah, ever since I saw Fire and Ice, I had more of an appreciation for axes. So.
True.
I love that you've seen that movie now.
Yeah. Now that's a fun one. That's a fun one to watch because it is really unique.
It is. You got two. You got two incredible factors there. You got Bakshi and you got Frazetta working together.
Yeah, it's an interesting combination.
As far as I know, it's the only movie Frazetta ever worked on.
I don't know of any others.
Heck, I don't even think he painted the cover for the Conan, the Dino De Laurentiis movie. I think that was someone else.
It's funny seeing fictional characters wielding a hammer twice their size and swinging it around like a feather. Yeah. I will say that is one thing I really like. I don't do a lot of fight animation stuff because I'm not super into it, but when I do, that's one thing I really want to like do.
When I do.
Yeah, when I do. Is I want to bring weight back into the equation. Because like everybody kind of looks at like, a lot of like anime influence and stuff like that, and they're much more a fan of like the flow of movement. Western or Eastern animation is a lot more like energy based, I would say, like in terms of fittingly enough, in terms of their movement, whereas the West kind of had an emphasis on weight and shape and form for a long time. And now those two worlds are kind of merging, but it's leaning a lot stronger towards, you know, that energy form. And so you get a lot of, like, it's cool movement and everything like that, but it leaves a lot to be desired in terms of impact, if you ask me. You know, they can go over the top and, you know, drop buildings on characters and stuff like that, but, like, you know, we're talking about fire and ice. That dude, that dude, when he hits people, it looks like it hurts.
You talking about Dark Wolf?
Yeah, Dark Wolf.
Yeah,
just
Dark
like-
Wolf made me like axes again.
Yeah, it's like,
Actually, probably for the first time ever, I was really like, hey, axes are cool.
yeah.
Look how this guy uses this thing, man.
So there's something to be said about just that really impactful, kind of grounded feel. And I wish that animation explored that in its own way. Because, like, obviously, you know, animation excels at exaggeration, but you could still definitely exaggerate other aspects of combat rather than just speed or energy or, you know, the flash in the pan kind of stuff. Where are we at? Let's listen to. Wrapping up soon? We can go for a little bit longer. Probably gonna wrap up soon. I'll probably do
I'm
just
gonna keep working till I finish this,
yeah.
whether that's on stream or not.
I'm actually just gonna go through and double check. I think for the most part, everything, all the other colors are done. This will be. Oh, oops. I completely forgot you. There we go. You're on the verge of REM sleep. Don't have any tests tomorrow. Good. Probably gonna wrap it up here then. Call it a night. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, for the most part, like, that's pretty much done. That's done, that's done, that's done. Yeah, I guess I can do that, but that's so small. Yeah, we're going to be getting into color here next. Or lighting here next. So I'll probably have started that before next stream, hopefully. But yeah, I think that's base color pretty much done. Pretty much done. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap up then.
Okay.
I don't know about you.
I'll wrap up too.
Okay. We will be back on Tuesday next week. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. It was really fun. This was a really fun stream having everybody in here chatting.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Hope to do it again soon. And yeah, we're making progress. Making good progress. So catch you all later. Have a good night.
All right. See you guys.